Well, my dreams of becoming a market gardener might have finally come true. However, it's going to be very, very hard work. I've got a plain patch of land here, brilliant looking land, nice and flat. There is a few lumps and bumps in it, but this is going to be ultra hard work. I'm going to be taking you through the journey of how I'm going to turn this area here into a fully fledged, productive market garden, where hopefully I'm going to be able to sell completely chemical-free produce to people for great health benefits rather than the stuff you can buy in the supermarket. So anyway, it's going to be a lot of work to be done. If you want to follow this journey, don't forget to subscribe and let's get onto it. Now, this stick that I'm holding in my hand right here is one of the corner markers for this area. So what I've gone ahead and done, we marked these out yesterday, but as you can see, it's not a very robust stick, so I want to put something a little better in there. What I've got is a nice post here, a nice red post, well, red on the top, so I can see it from quite a way away. This is going to give me a visual representation of how far of a distance I am from the edge point of this 1 acre of land. So let's put a better stick in here. Okay. So there we are, a lot better of a stick in there. Now I'm going to do this on all 4 corners. Until you're actually standing on an acre of land, you don't realise how big it is. An acre of land is quite big. It's going to take me a lot of work. I'm now going to walk over to the far corner to see if you can see me all the way over there. Well, I don't know if you can see me, but I'm over it. So here's this post, what I just put in. And right over there, somewhere, focus, is the other post. You might be able to see it. It's a long way. So now what I'm going to do is mark out 63 metres of this blue rope. This is to give me a visual representation of sort of where the centre is, basically, because it's 63 metres between each post, or at least it should be. So we're going to check that. So now I've measured out the blue rope, we're going to go from this post right here next to me to that post right over there, so we can get a visual line of where we're going to put the black plastic down, because that's going to be the first thing we're going to do, is put black plastic down to kill off the weeds, the grass and all that, to give us a bit of a blank canvas ready for our no-dig beds. This is going to be a full no-dig market garden. Well, like I said, this is a no-dig garden. However, you do need to go ahead and remove the perennial weeds. So that is exactly what I'm going to be doing. I'm just going to be looking for perennial weeds, and if I see any large perennial weeds, I'm going to take them out with my digging hoe. And I know it sounds very contrary to obviously no-dig. However, like I said, to start with, if you can get as many perennial weeds out as you can, it's going to save you a lot of time in the future. So I'm going to be looking for bindweed, couch grass, dandelions. They're basically the main 3 that I'm going to be looking for. So yeah, and if I see any, I'm just going to be taking them out. Well, after a little bit of work, I managed to get out some weeds, such as this gigantic rooted weed here. Look how big that root is, absolutely massive. Now they're the type of weeds that I want to be getting out, because they are perennial weeds. That means they come up every year, year after year. Now I've not managed to get out every single perennial weed here, and I know that that's going to be a bit of a pain when it comes to them coming up again through the compost and cardboard and that, but I think I've got out the majority of the biggest ones, which are going to cause a problem. So I'm going to go ahead and put this over in the far corner, and then we're going to tarp the whole entire thing and put pallets on the top of it. So let's get working. This right here is a reel of black plastic, and you can use this over and over again to clear areas of ground by putting it down and letting the heat of the sun and the lack of sunlight kill off most of the stuff on the ground. So that is exactly what I'm going to be using this for. Now this is my biggest piece. I do have a few more other pieces. I've got some pallets that I just picked up and bring over with a wheelbarrow, and I've also got some pallets right over there. They are massive ones, and I'm probably going to be using them ones as well. I've got to get them to here though with a wheelbarrow, so it's probably not going to be easy. Anyway, let's go ahead and unreel this reel of black plastic. I'm hoping this is a big huge piece, because I need a really big piece. Anyway, the wind's picking up, so this might be a difficult task, but let's give it a go, see what we can do. Oh no, I don't think it's going to be easy this, by myself. Well, I'm going to get the other bits of plastic that I've got out, but yeah, that's quite a lot smaller than I thought. Oh gosh. Well, I know on camera this area probably looks quite big, however it really isn't. The sun's shining, which is great because it's going to cook everything underneath this black tarp. However, like I said, this is way not enough tarp, honestly, hardly anything. I'm just in one of the corners, so I really do need to get some more black plastic. I'm going to have to try and source that. I think it's going to be quite difficult, but I've got a place where I think I might be able to get some. So yeah, just got to give it a go. Anyway, that's this done. I've got one more task, and that is to mark where I want the water tap, because I'm going to be having a water tap put in as part of this sort of agreement for this piece of land that I'm renting out, and I think I'm just going to slap that bang in the middle of the place, because that way I've got equal distances to walk to be able to obviously water things. So yeah, right, let's go ahead and put the post in where I want the tap. Well, this right here roughly should be the centre of the acre, so this is where the water pipe's going to be. Just put in a bamboo cane thing there so we know roughly where it is. Right, my one last thing I need to do is I'm just going to put this line to that post behind you. I've already put it to that one, but I want to just put it to that one just to get a rough idea, and then I'm going to roll this all up, and then I think I'll probably call it a day for today, just because there's not really much more I can do at the moment. Well, I've seen what I needed to see by putting this string down. Now I'm going to go ahead and reel it all up, and then I'm going to call it a day, head on home. It's been a good day though. I've learned a few more things, put some black plastic down, and realised that I need a lot more, so it's all good. So I'm going to be making some phone calls to try and get some. Right, let's go ahead and reel this up. Well, I went ahead and purchased a load of black plastic, and it arrived, and then me and my dad come down, and we're now putting it all out on a time lapse, as you can see. Now this was very hard work, and as you can see, the tarp isn't quite black compared to the black plastic that's just in front of it here, but you'll see that this was an issue later on. Okay, well, a little update from the market garden. Now, I haven't filmed here for quite some time, and I do apologise about that, but a lot has changed. We've got, as you saw last time, we were putting the tarp down. We've now rolled the tarp up, and I've had some huge problems with that. The tarp wasn't working, it was letting light through. I ordered black and grey tarp came, and I didn't really think much of it, but grey tarp did make a huge difference in killing the grass, and in fact it didn't work. I'm now going to show you that in a second. I'm getting wood chip delivered now, which is good. There were some tree surgeons the other day working on the house next door, and I asked them if I could have a load of their chip, and they come and dropped it off for me, so that was great. I've got 50 tons of mushroom compost sitting just over there, which I'll show you. And yeah, I'm just going to have a quick show you around with this camera, so let me do that now. Okay, so here we have the 50 tons of mushroom compost. Now, it doesn't look like that until you sort of get to this middle bit, but that is two 25-ton loads delivered, and I should be getting 36 tons of cow manure delivered soon. Here's a chicken. Right, now let's take a look at this. This is the wood chip. Look at that. Good pile of wood chip there. That got delivered yesterday. In fact, they're steaming. Take a look at it. It's steaming. Right, now this is the important bit. This looks dead, doesn't it? But when you get closer, you can actually see that there's little shoots coming up. Now, I achieved killing this by using fire, which I'll show you in a moment. But this is the area of tarp that we rolled up the other day. So as you can see, a lot of it is still alive and green. Now, most of the stuff that's still alive and green is perennial weeds, which obviously is a nightmare. As you can see, this part is extremely green, so yeah, it's really annoying. But I do have a tool that should help me be able to kill off some of it. But yeah, this tarp now is rolled up and it's 3 layers thick. So we're hoping that the sun won't really penetrate it very well, and there isn't actually much sun in the winter anyway, so hopefully that'll help this bit to die off Me and my dad come down and rolled this back yesterday. It was really hard work. Look, there's even a flower coming up. But just to show you, all these clumps here, which looks like grass, I'm pretty sure these are ryegrass. This is perennial ryegrass. It comes up every year. This stuff is going to be an absolute nightmare to get rid of. Now, I have got a bit of an idea on what I'm going to try and do to get rid of it, but I think it is going to be one heck of a pain, and as you can see, there's a hell of a lot of it. Now obviously this is not a sponsored video in any way, but this is my burn gun that I've got. And what this is basically like a flamethrower type thing. And I go along and I just scorch the top of the ground, killing off any annual weeds, and then scorching the perennials and knocking them back. So yeah, this is what I'm going to do now. I'm going to burn this whole section that I've already burned once, get this done, and then tomorrow I'm going to come back and see if I can make a start on the green area that we pulled back the other day. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn over the soil. This is a no-dig area, but I think for this I'm going to need to turn over the soil a little bit, and I'm going to basically just flip it over, taking it off chunk by chunk with my digging hoe, and then hopefully the lack of light will kill the perennial ryegrass. Anyway, let's get to burning. Just opening the valve to let a little bit of kerosene out. That'll do. Now light her up. Right, now I'm going to pump her up. Open up the valve. Anyway, I'm going to get on and burn the whole thing. Happy days. Well, here's an aerial view. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe to follow along on this journey of mine. It's probably going to be quite a long one, I hope. Very exciting times to come. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.